Welcome back to the Four Elements Press LGBTQ Author series. I am Alexander Casillas. Throughout this series, we talk to LGBTQ authors about their works, about the messages that they have for the LGBTQ community, and about the messages that their works speak to. Today we have AJ Torres. She is a pan author of fantasy novels. She is a self-published author with 4 books, and she is also Puerto Rican. Love that. AJ, if you want to introduce yourself and a little bit about your works.
Hola a todas. My name, as Alexander said, is AJ Torres. It is a pen name, but that's okay. I've written several stories, couple like a novella and a short story. And if you're just a fan of fantasy, from dark fantasy, epic, high fantasy, hopefully I am your author. And if you are also a fan of stories that have uh non-white characters, I write those too. I am all over the place. I am also making sure to be more comfortable writing queer characters because I am recently out about 5 years, give or take. So there was a lot of, you know, growing into learning who I am and what I am.
Yeah.
Sorry, my voice is super great right now.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you for being here today, and I'm excited to get to know a little bit more about your works and about you. What inspired you to become a writer?
So, funny thing, originally I was actually trying to go at it as a graphic artist because I really, really love to draw. I'm an one thing to call me is an anime artist, or you can say a cell shade artist. But I was trying to create graphic novels originally. I did create a couple of first chapters until I made it to Valhalla, and it was a very big project for a first chapter, to the point that I ran out of patience to do all those backgrounds. So at one point where I was feeling pretty down and I was just trying to figure out how else to try to bring this to life, I just realized, oh wait, why don't I try writing it as a novel? And I did. For a couple of months, 2 to 3 months. I just took the entire idea I had of Valhalla and attempted a novel that was over 10 years ago. I have been with Valhalla ever since, trying to get it right. Valhalla is probably it went through like several title changes, several opening changes, and now I have Valhalla, the Valkyrie's Fire, and that is the one I am hoping to release this year. It is going to be the biggest of my stories. And a journey it was.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
10 years with a project is a long time. So
Oh,
I
I was stubborn with this. I was like, I'm not letting you go yet.
That's good. Did you publish your other works before you started that, or did you publish these throughout your time working on that?
Throughout working on it, The Call for Fernie's Pride was the first story I published, and it was smaller than this. This one ended up me coming back to me rewriting it and trying it again. And it was originally a novella. Now it's basically a short novel.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, this one turned into a. I wrote a short story for a contest on Wattpad. I didn't win. And then my husband was like, why don't you try and you know, beef it up and publish it? So then I was like, yeah, okay, why not? I can do that. And what was supposed to be a standalone turned into a series.
That's awesome, though.
So it just turned into me loving the idea of the seven deadly sins, hence why the first book is called California's Pride, where you're following a host who is holding a demon from the ring of pride. And the second one, although it is called the California's Lust, it's not spicy, it's not smutty. You're just following a host that is also holding a demon from the ring of lust.
Okay.
That's it. And yeah, this is my dark fantasy series of standalones. They all follow different characters, different hosts. They go through their own journeys leading to a a single place. And yeah, for anyone who loves the Diablo game series, especially Diablo 3, that's where the vibes came from. Yeah, it's a like
Awesome. Your
even
art
like the
definitely has.
demon here was inspired by like the demon designs from that game. Like I'm a big big fan of like, you know, just uh games and concepts and arts and all that stuff. So yeah, I even have like the concept book for Diablo 3.
Oh
So
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I have played a lot of World of Warcraft throughout my years, so I definitely
Hey,
get
you know.
yeah. That's incredible. So you never really know where a project can take you once you start it. And maybe even
No.
once it's finished, it might continue. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, even this one here is my YA high fantasy standalone, Revenge and Forgiveness. Perfect for readers 14 and up. This is just a standalone. And this was another story that was originally my husband and I were going to try and make a game.
Oh,
We did not have a lot of the resources needed in order to try and make one. So yeah, again, my husband was like, "You want to try and turn it into a book?" So I
yeah.
did, and it's actually really funny because the character on the cover, his name is Caius. He is my wonderful cinnamon roll knight. The funny thing about his look on this cover is that it took another writer friend to be like, he kind of looks like oh, what's his name? Anduin from World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
And then I stopped and I was like, wow, look at that.
that's great.
just,
Well,
just random moments like that.
it it definitely lets readers know what like to kind of expect going in. So that is great.
Mm-hmm,
And we can tie that in a little bit to your journey as a self-published author too.
mm-hmm.
So, how did you kind of settle into self-publishing? And a lot of our followers kind of are maybe thinking about self-publishing, traditional publishing, hybrid publishing. So we always kind of review your unique journey with it.
So before jumping into self-publishing, I did decide to just look into it. What is needed, what to expect, um, uh, options out there. Well, like what kind of options are out there for self-publishing. um I am currently using Amazon's KDP because it is free to use. It's very much financially good on my part for someone who's got a very small following and doesn't really have much.
Yeah.
So there was one self-published author I was following. Her name is Jenna Marassi. She's really big on the writing side of YouTube, and she had a lot of, videos to help give me an idea of what to look for starting my self-publishing journey. And then come Instagram, I made more writing friends that have also self-published to give me more things to look out for. Of course, when it comes to finally getting a book out there, no matter how many books you go through, there's still going to be some sort of hiccups on the techie side of publishing. So, like, the cover's not aligning, or the formatting inside is just being finicky, or KDP's what was it? KDP's customer service not being the best. Like, it took me a
Oh,
while to figure out why the map page wasn't working, until eventually someone was like, yeah, the picture has to fit the page in its entirety. And I'm just like,
okay.
what? Eventually all we had to do was just darken the borders, and
Oh,
I guess it was enough for them to accept it. So
it looks good though.
thank you. I did that myself.
Wow.
There are a couple things I can do, a couple things I can't do. Like, I'd love to do my own covers, but there's just some things I still need work on, and I am very proud to say I don't mind seeking others to do it for me.
Yeah.
I don't use AI.
Yeah. We have to play to our strengths and
Yep.
definitely get the professionals in when we need them.
Yep.
That's
Uh
that's great
the
that
the
you were able,
formatting I do my I myself, and by myself I mean my husband helped me.
yeah.
But otherwise, yeah, there's going to be a lot of trial and error. It definitely would be a good thing to look into what you want. I know Ingram Sparks is like up and down for some authors, and they've recently made changes. They
Mm,
seem to be the best place for hardbacks, especially for those who want to do the dust jacket and the cool naked backs and all
yeah.
that cool stuff. I've not done Ingram Sparks yet. I'm putting quotations on the yet part. I still haven't decided if I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
But there's also Barnes and Noble's self-published press. I don't remember what that one is called, but just know that when it comes to Amazon and Ingram Sparks, there is beef. There is going to be issues. That's why I'm suggesting, if you're going to self publish, look into what's up. Because sometimes the obstacles other authors have gone through, oh, I'm just glad I haven't gotten through anything that severe. But so far, Amazon KDP, sometimes some techie issues, putting all your files together, and then just let it go. After that, you just gotta work on that marketing.
Yeah. And what do you do for marketing as a self-published author too? Were you kind of considering the marketing end before you decide on self-publishing too?
For the marketing part, that one I had some serious up and downs for it, because with the marketing, at the time there actually wasn't that much on suggestions for what to do. So a lot of it is just you talk about it, you hope other people talk about it, and then you word of mouth kind of hopefully either works in your favor or it doesn't. I just recently started looking into book tours where they gather their own host of hosts, their own posters. I got posters sounds so weird, but they gather their own people. They also help spread word of mouth. They do involve another financial incentive to help get your book out there through various means. I'm currently, who am I using? I think they're called hollowed hollow books hollow book tours,
Okay.
and they're gonna help me with my cover reveal for Valhalla of the Valkyrie's Fire in August 6th. Look out for the cover then. And I have tried other book tours, some on the smaller financial end. Those were okay. I ended up coming upon, at least for the Call of Phineas Lust, the protagonist is gay. I unfortunately did come upon a host from this one book tour that I guess they weren't paying attention to like the details of the book because they were like, I'm not supporting a book if it has a gay character in it. And I'm just like,
Yikes.
okay. That was like the day off. Like
The day
the day of the cover reveal for that book. They like two hosts just came forward and were like, yeah, no, gay, and I'm just like, I'm
Wow.
not dealing with that right now. The book tour picked them, and I'm just like, you deal with that. Thankfully, they decided to come back and be like, we're gonna give you a discount after that.
Oh
But
my God.
just be aware that depending on the size of the book tour, clearly there might be some issues that could range anywhere from the host not doing what was promised or homophobes. Who knew?
Yeah.
And then, like, to the point, like, it even surprised the book tour because they were like, this is literally the first that's happened. And I'm just like, I guess it's gotta happen sooner or later. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm still in shock for that one. That was like 2 years ago. And I'm still being like, okay, head spinning. What to do after that?
That's a shame. That is
Yeah.
it's it's not only at the submission level that
Mm-hmm.
publishing is kind of gatekept. It's even
Yep.
at the last level where you're actually just standing there with your book to
Yep.
talk to readers who are interested.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've already had enough of the I was already expecting the it doesn't have romance, it doesn't have smut. Why should I read it? And I was like, it's fine. I expected that. And but I was thrown off of the it's gay. Why should I read that? And I'm just like, that's right. We're still dealing with homophobes even in the year of our Lord 2020 2023 or
Yeah.
2022, whenever that book came out. I don't remember, but it was I'm still just like, yeah, this is our era. This is what we got to deal with. But you just gotta keep pushing. Take a breath. Take a step back, and try again. Just don't try to give up. If you need a break, take that break. I completely understand, but like, just gotta try to keep pushing forward. Definitely helps if you have a little a group of your own to call your friends to help, being like, we got you, take that break if you need it, but we got you, we're here for you. Find those friends.
Yeah, it's important. It's
Mm-hmm.
important to know when to take that step back. But
Mm-hmm.
also that highlights how important it is that we keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Members of the community, keep writing. Don't give up on your dreams or on the stories that you're working on to share with people, to help people, because that's why we do it. And
Yep.
getting our voices in the mix is going to reach some of those potential homophobes at
Yep.
some point. And, maybe it'll be the little story that they need to see us as people. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. But thank you for that. And thank you for being here with us because we see a big need to highlight LGBTQ authors
Mm-hmm.
across the country because we know how difficult it is. And even if we can just be a small part in helping you get your word out and helping readers read your works, that is a win for us. So thank
Mm-hmm.
you. And that's really interesting about the book tours. I didn't know there were so many across the country. I'm gonna have to look into those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely look at, what their size is, because like I said, the one I did for the Call for Phineas Lust was on the smaller end, so it didn't have as much of a reach. Yes, they are cheaper, but when it comes to, the amount of price, the smaller the reach, the bigger the price, the bigger the reach, which is why I'm trying out holo book tours. It's not like the biggest book tours out there, but it's like, I guess in a certain bracket, it's at in the top bracket, it's like at the bottom of the high end, I guess. Cause like the cover reveal is what is $90. I've already paid it. I signed the contract. There are contracts to sign in case of, something happens. Someone can be responsible for the downside if anything goes wrong. And also makes both sides being like, hey, I I asked for this, you promised this, deliver on that. So it's
Yeah.
just look for what's out there. I think by this point there should definitely be, if you Google search it, you should definitely see what's out there. Um Also definitely look into other self-published authors who have used book tours, and just see what works for you, like either financially or just reachability,
And
and
with
what
with
type of like audience they look for, I suppose.
right, make sure it's genre.
Yeah,
And
because there'll be some that's like most of their followers might be more romance based, and if you don't have a romance based book, that might be hard. But I'm also on the side of, like, give it a shot. Let's see what happens.
yeah, you're gonna get someone soon,
Hmm.
definitely.
Yeah.
Do they with the book tour, do they have you like scheduled at a location to meet readers, or do you do like a virtual, or do they
This is so far I've only done virtual book tours. So it's just you set a schedule for what you want your cover reveal. If you have like a release day in mind, they can also help out with that as well. I know some have release day blitz, release week blitz. So
Mhm.
it's like they'll have like hosts help you, spread the word the day of release or an entire week. The one I'm currently with, they even have an option for uh reviews too. So it's like they'll gather people to read your story and leave reviews. You,
Nice.
yeah, you just gotta find you just look into the book tours, look at what they can do, choose which one you want to do, like what are the many options you want to do, and yeah, just try it out. Try it out at least once, or try out at least like various things. Again, if you have the financial means to do it, do it.
And since your work is on Amazon, have you had experience with like the Amazon ads that are internal in there?
I haven't tried the Amazon ads because that was still another source of money. I have heard other authors that have tried the Amazon ads, and it seems very mixed. Some say, yeah, it worked out the day I used it or the day it was scheduled for my book to come out. And others say it didn't do much,
Yeah.
maybe a couple of readers here and there, but it's a very I really wish this thing wasn't such a 50-50 chance it might or might not work. But
Yeah.
yeah, I haven't tried it yet because it's just the whole it might or might not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. And I think depending on genre too, it could probably play into it and
Yeah.
how much I guess like it would cost for it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had much experience with it, so I always ask just to see.
Same. All I got is word of mouth from other authors, and it really depends.
Yeah.
It's so 50-50. It's really hard to just like see if it'll work for you or not. This is still another thing. It's like try it once, we'll see. I just haven't decided on who I want to try it on. So
Yeah.
Mm,
And so you mentioned you recently came out over with the last 5 years.
mhm.
Um, does your work kind of speak to any of like the feelings of being in the community?
I it's not so much of writing a coming out story, but it's more like if you look at my story, you start noticing that I am becoming a lot more comfortable of just being like, yes, these characters are queer, let's deal with it. But with the Call for Nice Pride, it's a lot more smaller, more just be me being like, am I? Maybe. Let's just let's just see what happens. And then like the more stories I write, the more the characters are I very much do not hide the fact that the cast is queer, which is why the last character, Wilka, he is gay. He is just proudly gay. He loves another man. Unfortunately, this is also kind of a tragic story, so just watch out for that. But yeah, it's just it's more like just watching my progress of being more comfortable of yes, I am part of the spectrum and I am very much okay with writing characters in any spectrum, but I'm also just going to be like seeking out sensitivity readers to make sure I am not mucking up the spectrum. um so it's still like me just I am getting myself out there and just being happy of who I am.
Yeah.
And it's great to also have a support that also is happy for you. Like when I told my husband, and he was just like, yeah, I know. And I'm just like, well, that wasn't a reaction I was expecting. And I was like, and he was just like, I mean, baby, if you're happy, I'm happy. I love you either way. And I'm just like, thank you.
Yeah. That's wonderful.
Yes, I love him.
Good man. And I was gonna ask too, oh my gosh, I forgot my question. No. That's okay. Let me see. I'll think about it.
Hmm.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, writing is about really exploring our feelings, who we are.
Hmm.
So it's great that you can kind of track your kind of acceptance and progression in terms of your comfortability in writing queer
Hmm.
characters too. That's like
Yeah.
that's a big step because um even when I was in school, like for writing, and I'd be writing characters who you might be gay, might be different than me, might be different from, the rest of the kids in the class. Um, it takes a level of like confidence and it takes a level of saying, I'm gonna try this. I'm just gonna write, I'm gonna see what happens. People can say whatever they want, and that's
Hmm.
fine. But this is me writing in a direction, and you might never know where that direction goes.
Hmm.
But that's kind of how life is too. We get a sense of what we want to do, where we want to be. We go there, and sometimes it's good, sometimes we have to scratch it out and like rewrite again. But
Hmm.
yeah.
Oh my God, I just realized something. It's three stories that I've already written. They're not published because I'm trying to traditionally publish these
Ooh,
stories.
yeah.
The first one is a Taino inspired story where it's like Puerto Rican Percy Jackson meets the Chronicles of Narnia. So the gods and the pantheons and all that meets the portal hopping fantasy of Narnia, where the kids, enter a wardrobe and they're in a whole new world, except this wardrobe is a mirror that
Okay.
was made out of a kapok tree.
Okay.
Yeah, and in this story, the character is a 10-year-old girl named Irene. And this was also around the time where I wrote it, where I uh just came out. So when I wrote her, I wasn't sure who she was on the spectrum. There was a part of me that's like, I want to do this, but I'm also not sure if this is exactly me. So she was definitely a part of, you know, just looking at people a certain way, both uh boys and girls, but I didn't outright say like, yeah, this is what she is, but this is more like me just dipping my toe into the pond, so to speak. And then the next story I wrote, which is another middle grade story, this one is just high fantasy phase, but kids. And this one of the characters is very much, he is bi. He likes boys, he likes girls, he has a crush on another boy. And I'm just like, I love how confident you are in this, and I wrote you. And then the next story that I just finished writing, it's young adult urban fantasy, where the male lead, who is a teacher, teenager, not teacher, what? He's a 16-year-old boy, where he is out, he is proud of who he is, but he also has a backstory where he also admitted that he was forced to come out because another person outed him, and he told himself that no matter what, no matter what anyone says, he is proud of himself and he was not going to let anyone bully him for that. And I'm just like,
Wow, good
this
for him.
is a journey I put myself through. But these stories, like I said, these three specific stories are not published because I'm trying to find a book agent. Not easy. It
Oh,
sucks. It's hard, the amount of rejections for these stories.
and this is at the agent level.
Mm-hmm. All three stories are at agent levels, and I think the Taino one, which I am calling it the Amulet of Kakata. I'm saying I'm calling it because I am also aware that when it comes to traditionally published, not everything stays, like, titles or synopsis or stuff like that, and off the authors don't always have 100% control over what's going to be published on that end. But yeah, that one had at least five full manuscript requests.
Wow.
Two ended up rejecting it because they said that because they didn't have experience with series potential stories, they thought that I would be better off with an agent that knew how to sell that.
Okay.
Which was like, okay.
That-
I'll keep searching, I guess. And then there was one, she has not responded back, and it's been over 2 months,
yeah.
2 to 3 months. I'm gonna have to assume it's probably a no, because that's another thing you're gonna have to watch out for if you decide to query an agent. You might get silence back, which is unfortunately an automatic no. And I think one, one or two, uh, basically said that the story needed work, so they're passing. And I was just like, what does it need work on though?
Yeah, give me some tips.
Yeah, give me something to go off of. You'll also have some of these agents be like, yeah, you can try me again later after you revised it. And I'm like, revise what though? Give me
Oh,
something to
that,
work with.
that yeah, that's probably the worst answer. Like, because you might want to work with me, but you don't want to tell me what might work. So,
Yeah.
okay. I love the concept.
Sorry. Thank you.
That sounds incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's it's a challenge writing in any kind of mythology, and um, Taino mythology and history is it's very hard to kind of there are some sources, but it's you have to really hunt and you have to really find them. So, uh, how was your research journey with that?
Oh man. Originally when I was outlining, I think I got about halfway through the outline when I was like, something just isn't working here. I'm missing something. And then for helping my son, speak and, form more vocabularies, his doctor suggested reading to him. But the picture books are great, but like they're like 5 minutes and we didn't have a lot. So we started like just looking for middle grade books because they're bigger and they have more words in there to figure out. And then so around this time, we picked up Percy Jackson.
Mhm.
And then that's when I was like, wait a minute, does Puerto Rico have a mythology similar to Greek or any of the pantheons? So I started looking into it, and that's when I came upon the Taino indigenous people, their culture and their mythology. And like you said, at the time, which was several years ago, because I started querying the Amulet of Kakata in 2023. So in 2021 to 2022, I was just going down the rabbit hole as deep as I can to find what I need, to the point like the books I could find, it was like two books. Only found two books. They,
Yes.
they, they were thankfully thick. I read them both just to figure out like who the Tainos were at least. So this was more on the scholarly, this is who we believe they were from what diaries that were left behind, what artifacts were found, and all that stuff. Now the mythology themselves, that one was harder to find because out of what I could find, like book wise, I found one that transcribed from a Spanish monk's diary of what he was told by the Tainos of the beginning of the world, how the world came to be. Oh my god. It
I
even has
love
illustrations too. It's really great. I wish I brought that with me. um it's also a really really tiny book. So it's
oh,
it's really it's just the starting part.
yeah, okay.
Past that, it was mostly me searching through Google, just trying to find like any crumbs of who's a Tabe, who's a what is Guaninque, who is Maboyas, what is they have the horns. Oh my god, the creatures. Oh, you remember you've seen the masks with the paper mache horns and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
remember what they were called?
No, I don't remember what they're called.
It's like literally on the Vejigantes.
Okay.
I wanted to figure out what Vejigantes was, and even that was like just little nuggets of information I could find of what they could be. There were some nuggets of, yeah, there were like bat-like monsters that came out of caves in the mountains of Puerto Rico. But they only came out at night. The monsters could only come out at night because when the sun came out, it turned them to stone. And then so there was a lot of me just like taking liberties, like trying to mash some things together. And just yeah, I even have like a little brief thing at the beginning of the before that you start the story. It's just like, hey, at the time of me writing this, there was only so much information I could find at the time. Thankfully, there's like a little bit more, but in terms of like books, not there yet. But I am starting. They are slowly starting to trickle in, which is great. But like at the time of writing this, it was just a lot of me just like okay, what does history.com say? What does Puerto Rican blogger say about this? What did a historian scholar say about, what they found so far? Um and then from there it's just me just trying to like slowly put things in like a little puzzle just to be like, and
Yeah.
here's the book. I'd love to get it published. It's just I'm currently now at the point of, should I keep agenting this book, or should I just say, yeah, let's just self-publish it and see what happens. I am now at that mindset, but I also keep getting agents that are just like, yeah, I'll look at it, and then just me just waiting here being like, I don't know what to do now.
Yeah.
It's so hard. I really wish this part wasn't so hard, and I just mm, just
Well, it's nice that you
just
have them kind of on the back end while you're getting the Valhalla out.
mm-hmm. Yeah, this is how all these stories came to be while I was trying to figure out Valhalla.
Yeah.
10 years. There were times where I would just like, okay, I'm just gonna set you aside and work on something new. I'll come back to you. Just I need something to keep me going.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are, it's, let's see, one, two, three, four, and 7 stories I worked on while figuring out Valhalla.
And how, with the story that you have in an anthology,
Mhm.
how did that publishing journey go? Is that also self-published?
Yes, so this is not me. I do have a story in here, but I am one of 10 authors, one of 10 authors, and one of which is their name is Rob and Joe Margaret. They just came out and were like, I want monster romances, but I want ladies to be the monsters. Where is that? Why are
Yeah.
always the guys the monsters? Let me have some lady monsters. And then they were like, I'm gonna put this together. So anybody want to help out with that? And then I was like, I like, I like. Have you seen Hellboy?
Yeah.
Do you remember Abe, the the fish dude
Yes.
that
The
was
fish.
always in the water? I really like him. I really got inspired also by Guillermo de Toro's Shape of Water
Okay. Oh
with
yeah.
the fish creature, and then something started sparking in me when Robin made their post, to the point that I was like, I'm gonna write a little something. So in about a week, yeah, I wrote this in a week because it's a tiny short story. It's only meant to be a little crumb of something. In about a week, I wrote this story, and then yeah, it's called Shimmering Scales. If you
Very good.
like, it's I'm doing my best here.
Yeah. That looks
Yeah, yeah. She Was Monstrous is only going to be around until July 8th because this is only meant to be a limited print run. After that, the stories and the rights to those stories come back to each of the individual authors.
okay.
So if you want monster romance, but they're ladies, and it's on various queer spectrums, where even like guys, if you like to watch, BDSM, where the guy is the submissive, or a human character is being dominated by a monster. Get it now. After which they're going to be focusing on a volume 2. But
Ah.
if you want monster lady romances, you got options. And all the like the heat level, the spice level, the romance level is on various. I'm more on the, I like to let things grow. So there's no spice in mine. But yeah, my monster is on the same level as Abe from Hellboy or the creature from In the Shape of Water. So it's like it's a giant giant. She's so big. She's a big fish-like lady, but I'm also giving her the term sirena. So she is also like a monster fish mermaid lady.
Okay,
She is
yeah.
like she is big, she's strong. And yeah, the dude that ends up falling in love with her is like on the run. And yeah, so it all that happened was I got the idea of that story. I wrote it in a week. I made sure leading up to submission in late January, I made sure to have my alpha reader beta read it, my alpha reader read it, followed by a couple beta readers that wanted to read it, got it through editing, all that. And yeah, the host, after reading my story, came back to me and said, "You're going to do more of that, right?" I was just like, this was only supposed to be a short thing, but I'll do my best.
That's a great compliment.
Yeah, so at the moment, Shimmering Scales is in this anthology. It'll be around July 8th. After that, I would be giving the short story away for anyone who wants it, but
Mm.
not yet. You got to wait. After that, I am thinking about seeing if I can expand the story into a novel length
Oh yeah.
romance. Um and but like just leave it in the standalone, just his own thing cuz yeah, no, it was just a fun experience. If anyone wants to take part in an anthology, this is definitely one of those. I just happen to be mutuals with this author, which is how I saw that announcement for that anthology. If you follow Rainbow Crate, which is a queer book box, they also have recently gotten into publishing anthologies as well. They just did an announcement for one. What was it for? I decided not to go for it because they had a specific criteria that I was just like, nothing is like jumping out at me. So I chose to pass on it. Did I have to do it fall? I can't remember. But if you follow Rainbow Crate and want to, and you're also queer, because the whole thing with Rainbow Crate is that they're trying to raise up queer voices, which is the whole point of their anthologies is to raise up queer authors, queer stories.
Yeah.
Um, follow Rainbow Crate. I guess who else? I know Owl Crate just released an anthology. Uh, but I don't know if they make an announcement that they're doing one or they seek out authors who want to take part in their anthology. Definitely just this, the anthology part is one of those, I think you just got to be on the lookout for it.
Yeah.
And if it's one of those, you can submit a story, you can do that. Or or it might be one of those they're seeking authors and coming to you instead. Just
Right.
try
Okay.
to try to just keep your eyes open for those.
And
But yeah.
how do like royalties and stuff work with the anthologies? Do you get royalties off the sales?
Yes, and I believe then because of who the host was, a lot of they gathered us together in a Discord, and they asked questions on how they wanted it done, like how do we get paid, when should we get paid,
Yeah.
um, all that stuff. It also it around the time of like the week it was being released, an author Joanne Kwan passed away.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So that really surprised us because it was very much a sudden passing because none of us knew it happened until the account, like the family posted something on the account. So What's going to happen is I think we've decided on at the end the host was going to dish out the money to us through PayPal. But for Joanne Kwan's portion of the proceeds will go to a charity of the family's choice.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. If you also just want to help out Joanne Kwan's family, you can also it, their portion would go to a good cause. So that'll also be a good reason to get the
Yeah.
book. I didn't personally know Joanne Kwan. Like we just got together in the Discord, but it was still like, wow, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was surprising, but yeah, we've decided on getting the royalty at the end.
Okay.
But this only happened because the host just decided to ask us questions. I've never been in anthology before this, so it was interesting seeing what other authors who have been in anthologies before were saying.
Yeah.
So I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna see what you guys are saying. Like even the cover choice was a group effort thing.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, definitely depends on who's hosting it, what's going on. Don't expect the anthology experience to be the same for everyone. It just seemed for this one what worked out was other authors who have done this before were helping the host being like, yeah, this is what we did and this has worked out so far.
Yeah. That's good. That's great.
Yeah.
I haven't had experience with an anthology yet, so it's really good to like see how, they are kind of unique in how they operate, but it's nice to see that uh they are kind of getting author feedback too. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if anyone wants to try an anthology, definitely ask questions if you're thinking about jumping into one. And if everything that they're saying sounds like it might work for you, give it a shot. But also make sure that the story you're going to submit also fits their criterias, because some of these anthologies have like a theme that they're going for. For us, what worked out was that the host just said, "Give me a story with a monster lady."
yeah.
So that's it. Other ones like for the Rainbow Crate one was also a theme of it was something fall related to. It was like a when you don't remember things.
Yeah.
But yeah, like even like the Rainbow Crate ones have a specific theme, and if you have a story, also check like the submission days, because some of these anthologies I would like find out the week the deadline is, and I'm just like, it may have worked out for this story, but I was also able to have time to like seek out beta readers and editors. Just
Right.
so just also watch out for criterias, payment options, deadline.
Yeah, every time I find one, it usually is like with 5 days left, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah, there was one that was like with werewolves, but it was like 3 days left, and I was like, I don't have anything for 3 days. But this the werewolf one sounded cool.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Next time they
Next
come
time.
down. They usually do.
Yep.
A lot of the times, you know, the criteria might change a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
given the time of year, like especially around like Halloween time, if you write like some good Halloween style fantasies, you can probably get by with submitting them to a few different contests, probably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Um,
I know. I think last year I saw one that was like a horror one, but I think the horror theme for that one was hauntings.
okay.
So if anyone had something to do with hauntings and ghosts and stuff like that, they could do that one. But I wasn't like, keen on doing anthologies yet, so I didn't really keep it to memory. Um But yeah, there can be like several things out there. You just gotta look for them and see what you think might like and what'll work to you. There's even some contemporary ones if you don't want to do anything paranormal or fantasy. Like the options are out there. You just gotta find it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, everyone watching, start by following AJ
Oh.
and following me too, because, and then all the authors that you're interested in, reading,
Mm-hmm.
follow what they're posting, follow the publishers that you follow. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
if you read books that one publisher is publishing and you love those books, follow them.
Mm-hmm.
Or what they're releasing, find out who's following them, because a lot of the times like-minded presses or contests are following these publishers and following these voices. So get in the literary sphere and you will be seeing opportunities because they are coming up. Um, AJ, yeah.
Don't forget to ask about rights for your story.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I came upon one that decided to do a limited release where the story and the rights will come back to me. If you prefer to go that route or you don't mind your story being in something that'll be out longer, it'd still be good to make sure to check out, the rights and how you're going to get paid. Because there are unfortunately some out there that will just like not bother with giving you rights or payment. It's
Okay.
just watch out, please. I'm begging you.
Read the details, like with anything with publishing,
Mm-hmm.
read the details. Know what
Yes.
you're doing before you do it.
Yep.
Um, because you really, there are like every stripe out there. Like you, if people can sell it, they will try to sell it. And there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of like selling to authors, selling promises that really aren't upheld at every level, publishing, advertising, marketing. Do you, AJ, have any special message for any LGBTQ people or writers out there, or any maybe Puerto Rican writers as well?
Oh man. So like many of you, I still come upon obstacles. I am still struggling. It is it is hard. It really is. Uh it'd be nice to say that, oh yeah, no, I have so many followers, so many books sold, all this and that and da 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 da. And I am also still trying. I am also still figuring this out. It'll get better, but it'll get much better if you can try and find a community that will also up like lift your voice up too. If you're always stuck being the one that is uplifting someone else, it's it's going to be draining. Also find that time for yourself to figure out what you want and try again. It'll be hard, but you just got to keep trying. Keep trying.
Yeah.
People there are people out there that want to read your story. It's hard to find, but they're out there somewhere. You just got to just keep trying. That's all I can say. Just keep working at it as best you can. I did. I'm still trying. I'm still working through it. I'm still figuring things out. But the thing that works out is that I I still love doing this and I have a pretty good pretty good writing community that I'm in. So just do your best.
Yeah. And that's really what writing is all about, that
Mm-hmm.
building community, bringing people together. Um, you know, writing hasn't, for maybe a small percentage of writers is writing like a main source of income or a full-on career. For most
Mm-hmm.
writers, it is a step by step. This is what I am doing because I want to do it, and I'll grow into the writer that I want to be
Yep.
in time.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to give yourself a lot of patience. You have to give yourself a lot of determination, though.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to step outside your comfort zone a little bit, like we are here, maybe talking.
I know I am. This is my first time doing this.
You're doing great. Thank you for being here and your perspectives and all the because it's not just one route that you're taking, and this is how writers in the 21st century kind of have to think now. Um, we can, even if we self-publish one work, we can still look at traditional publishing for other
Mhm,
works. We can look at anthologies. We can
mhm,
reach readers in different places because at the end of the day, when they read your story, they're going to be searching up your name,
mhm.
read what else you've written. I know that's true for me. If I read a good writer, I'm addicted and I have to read everything that they write. So that is going to happen. You're going to find your audience and just keep speaking to that audience, and you will make a difference.
Yep. Yeah, it's speaking of being obsessed. I actually just read When the Tides Held the Moon by
Yeah.
Vanessa Vita Kelly, and I just like look at all that.
Oh,
I this author is still so new, and by the end I'm literally sitting here being like, I don't care what you write, I am going to get it and I'm going to read it. Oh my god. She's also they're also Puerto Rican. I forgot that they're
yeah.
non-binary. Yes, Vanessa is non-binary and wrote a merman romance, and like god, it
Awesome.
spoke to like the Puerto Rican in me that is also, oh my god, I'm gonna cry. Where it's just like someone who is like living here in the States and is just like trying to figure out who you are. And it's just like, oh my god. Here is this is supposed to be a romance, but whoop, it's like a line from this book that it says, I often wonder if the people of Borinquen will always be caught between the master who conquers us and the master we wish we could be for ourselves. And I'm just like, that
Wow.
made me cry. But yeah, you just gotta just keep trying, guys. You'll find someone that'll just react like this to a story. It's just, if you
And
want to keep at it, just keep at it. It's definitely a career of perseverance.
yeah, that is a beautiful line. Thank you for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
The author too. I'm gonna definitely check them out.
Oh my god,
Uh,
please do.
just that line captures something specific about Puerto Rican heritage and Puerto Rico, how Puerto Ricans live on the island and within our communities that um, I think people on the mainland can really learn from. Because when you're on the island, it doesn't matter if you live there full time,
Mm-hmm.
you're there, and that's what matters. People see you for there, they welcome you because you're there, and they treat you like family, even if they're not your family. Um, Strangers on the street will treat you as family more so than some families here in the States.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, I think if we read more Puerto Rican writers too, we can kind of, as a nation, find some healing and um, find a future that includes everyone instead of just portions of our population. Uh,
I'm currently building that list.
yeah, good.
Yeah, I got Queen and Conqueror by Isabel Olmo, and now I have Vanessa Viracali with
Yeah.
When the Tides Held the Moon. I got I got a couple more waiting in my TBR, of course, because TBR is never ending. But yeah, I can't wait. I even have a couple of books waiting in my wish list. I think one is a dystopian set in Puerto Rico,
Yeah.
Sordidades,
Okay.
but I don't remember the author's name. Crap. But It's also the lead is also trans, and I was just like, trans Puerto Rican dystopian Puerto Rico. Okay, I'm adding that to my wish list. I will get to that as soon as I can, but I'm gonna get to it. So yeah, I'm still looking, but they're out there. Just gotta look,
I
and once you find it, grab it, hold on as tight as you can.
don't lose it. I'm
No.
gonna have to talk with you a little bit more too about your history, your research in the history of Puerto Rico and
Mhm.
culture too, because eventually the series that I wrote, The Immortal Philosophers, is gonna reach Puerto Rico uh throughout the series. So it's gonna be a nice kind of I want to kind of bring the island to life for in kind of like a Percy Jackson-ish kind of way, because that's
Mhm.
kind of the feel of the Immortal Philosophers as well.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna have to pick your brain a little bit and get those sources from you.
There is something. Oh, I'm just gonna lean back really quick.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, here we go. So I am also reconnecting with Puerto Rico and its history. Let's see. And I learned of a book that exists that I want to get, because I want to look into like uh the history of everything
Yep.
that's gone on from like the colonization to now. Why do I keep pressing the wrong button? Nope, that's not it. It's oh wait, just hit that button. Here we go. Here we go. It is called, oh, yeah, that's fine. Puerto Rico, A National History by Joel Melendez Badillo.
Okay.
It's a blue cover with the island Puerto Rico on it.
That's beautiful.
Uh what actually sold me, besides it's a history of Puerto Rico, I've heard good things about it, but if you decide to get the hardback, if you remove the dust jacket, one side of the naked back is the flag of Puerto Rico
Yeah.
today. The
Okay.
other side is the very first one,
Oh
like
wow.
the very first flag of Puerto Rico. And I was just like, I need this book.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's for those who are just who are like me when it comes to textbook style books, and how they tell things. I do struggle. And when I struggle, like, to be honest, I'm amazed I was able to read those two books on the Taino culture, because eventually the information got pretty overwhelming, or kind of I was not a good kid in school, but I tried. But I am still learning myself. I have been in the States for so long. My mom doesn't always tell me everything that's going on. Uh but when she does, it's still like, that's amazing, or wow, that's so infuriating.
Yeah.
um but yeah, it's with the two of the three that I'm trying to traditionally publish. One is very much set in Puerto Rico, following a Puerto Rican girl, set in like the 1980s. And it's mostly just seeing that there are things there that I missed growing up there, like the things about the Tainos. I had no idea growing up that the Tainos even existed. And just Columbus being Columbus and all that.
Yeah.
ickiness, all that ickiness. But
Yeah.
like also being able to learn that even since the colonization, the the Tainos to the African slaves to descendants of the Tainos, they never stopped fighting. They kept fighting. There was even I don't know if it's called a proverb, but the Tainos had a thing during their time of fighting and rebelling against Spain and its colonization on the islands was that they had a belief that the kapok trees, especially the oldest kapok tree, uh, had branches to like many other types of worlds out there. Basically, they were the first to figure out the multiverse before the MCU did. But to them, it was like the hardship we are dealing with now is one thing. But if you, no matter what happens by your end, know that there is probably another life somewhere that is you with your family, you with your loved ones, you with your friends, and you made it so far. And it's just like, I know I'm crying again. I'm sorry, but it's just like that was so great.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just it. Oh, I can't talk now. Oh,
No, yeah, it's important and to kind of reflect on how not how every culture does have kind of like this system where, you know, even in struggle, kind of find solace in the universe and the possibility of the universe and the inevitability of, what is now, but also the possibility of what's to come. So that just the idea that different branches can kind of offer different lives, to just know that, this one has its struggles, but in the overall universe, there is still an overall positive and the perseverance will prevail.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I really like that. So I put it in the as a concept for the middle grade. Like this
Yeah.
is supposed to be a book one, and I'd like to explore it more, but I also need someone to say yes to it so I can delve into it.
Yeah.
And even the YA urban fantasy one, that one is like Cemetery Boys by Iden Thomas meets Legend Born by Tracy Dion. And even that is just like the I was going to, show the importance of putting your roots down and just like watching your roots like connect with other people. And I'm just like, I want someone to say yes, and I can like tell this story. But yeah, it's just like, concepts and histories and tragedies and stuff like that helps spark something in your mind to be like, I'd like to try and share what I learned to everyone else.
Yeah. Like that is beautifully digestible rather than history book,
Hmm.
research text. Yeah.
Yep.
I
But
love,
yeah, I'd like to try and give a Puerto Rico national history a try
yeah.
whenever I get my hands on it. But yeah.
Another tool I've found sometimes with the more historical books,
Hmm.
if I listen to it, kind of get through it a little bit quicker.
Hmm. I get that. I get that.
Gets to me, right?
Hmm. Uh, but yeah, just I'm trying to I'm figuring things out myself. And so hopefully whatever I end up learning, I get to just sprinkle it in my stories so everyone can see what I've learned. or see what I'm telling, or just enjoy the story, whichever works for you. But
Well, I'm
yeah.
really hoping it gets picked up soon so we can all hear it because that would be cool. And read it. You're gonna have to let me know because I'll share it out there once it's out.
Thank you.
Um, so we have a couple things to look forward to. Maybe a potential short story being published. You
Hmm.
have your August, no, your November or fall launch for your next.
I think I'm gonna try and shoot for November 4th, because what's cool about November, a couple of years ago, someone started Norse-vember. So it would just be like a month for
Okay.
everyone to like, if you love Norse mythology or like to just look into Norse mythology, you just got Norse myth fans just having fun expressing like their favorite stories, either from the mythology or modern day stories inspired from mythology, anywhere from God of War that decided to delve into the Norse pantheon, or Thor from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or the comics, or there was something, Project Valkyrie something. It's also a Japanese game that's like all inspired by Norse mythology as well. And now I have Valhalla
Yeah.
that I'm shooting for November 4th. At least the ebook. The paperback might not be out like right away, but I'm trying to put it all uh together as best I can financially. It's always the financial question. Can I do it? Do I have the money? But yes, Valhalla cover reveal is on August 6th.
Yeah.
I actually just did a post yesterday where you could see a little tease of the cover.
Okay.
It's so cool. Um yeah, the cover artist gave me the image like big enough that I just like, if I zoom in, the details, you can see it all.
Okay.
So I might do one more tease next month, but the cover reveal is on August 6th. The book I'm hoping to release on November 4th, all this year.
Yeah.
Um, and like I said, for the anthology, you guys have until July 8th, and volume one is gone.
Yeah.
That I know some of the other authors say that they plan to do something with their stories, but if you guys want to support these 10 authors, which includes me, which also includes the late Joanne Kwan and their family, definitely pick it up.
Yeah.
There's 10 stories. One of them you're bound to like.
We'll link that in the article as well for everyone too, with
Cool.
the last day to buy.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then yeah, we'll have you back after you release your cover for Valhalla.
Hopefully everything goes good. I don't worry. Like I've already done this for 5 years, and I still get this nervous releasing a cover. Like it doesn't go away. You either get the anxiety of, oh my God, is it going to be good? Or, oh my God, I'm excited. All
Yeah.
mixed together. It's just a crazy ball of chaos.
It's kind of how we operate as writers, I think,
Yep.
for the most part.
Yep. Ah.
Until it's done out of the hands, until it's
Mhm.
launched, then you're like, okay, I
It's like, okay,
don't think about it
I can
anymore.
relax.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for being a part of our LGBTQ author series, AJ. We're gonna have this article probably come out over the weekend,
Mhm.
or this interview come out over the weekend. We will add you to our LGBTQ author directory as well, where we add all of our LGBTQ authors. We'll have your socials posted there with a couple pictures of your work as well, and then we can always update it. Um, and then we're gonna have you back in the next few months. So keep writing until then. We need it.
Oh my God, thank you so much for having me, Alexander. Oh my God, this is, oh. It was so exciting and nerve-wracking. Oh,
Well, hopefully this could be a good launch to more interviews for you, because you definitely have a lot to share, and
thank you.
readers will definitely appreciate finding you.
Thank you. Oh my God. And I am looking forward to reading your book. It's like it's in my wish list. I got
Yeah,
so many books to get through.
I
So
know
many
it's
amazing books.
hard. It is, but we will be in touch and send over anything if when you come across it, and I'll send it out to everyone.
Thank you. I will.
Thank you so much and have a great rest of your day.
You
Take care.
too.
Thank you.